Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of Banter Blitz, the show where we play interesting chess games. That is our tagline and I'm sticking with it, but just so you guys know, I'm not planning to actually change my usual extremely dull approach to the game of chess to make them more interesting. So honestly, it's more of a marketing ploy to call it the show where we play interesting chess games. Because it is the show where I play dull chess games, especially in episode number 117. It's pretty much same old, same old. What else is going on? Oh, happy Thanksgiving to our friends in the United States of America and the Canadas and Liberia. Where else do you celebrate Thanksgiving? I looked it up earlier. I don't know such stuff, but I forgot already. Some of the Caribbean islands. That's it. What's the purpose of it? You're thankful for the rich harvest over the summer? Is that? How big a thing is that nowadays still? I'm not 100% sure, but happy Thanksgiving to our American friends and Canadian and Liberian. Enjoy the holidays. How does it work? You're free on... I didn't look it up that much. You're free on Thursday and Friday, so it's like a long weekend thingy? We will probably find out during the show. Then I'm reading, it's Bolu Canolo's birthday. Happy birthday, Bolu Canolo. He lobbied the other day for not having the show today. But he didn't tell us it was his birthday today. That makes it even stranger. He really didn't want me to do a show on his birthday. So he can use his birthday for more meaningful stuff, like being with friends and family. I don't know. Challenge me to a game of 5-minute Blitz chess if you happen to be a Chess24 premium member. If you are not, then become one and then challenge me. Then we shall play a lovely game of Blitz. I will now look at my challenges and start the show. So YouTubers, post it. 3 minutes, 18 seconds, first game. Did I switch the sound on? Oh, why does the board look so messed up? Can I fix it? I can fix it. We're playing against Elias 03, Huleberg Zidali. Apologies if I got that name wrong. He goes e4. And nothing like a Caro-Cam to get your juices flowing. Lefty John is saying, love me some banter with my pumpkin pie. Is that a Thanksgiving thing? Pumpkin pie? Is it like, do you guys have an order? You get your turkey, then your pumpkin pie, then your... I don't know what people eat. I honestly don't. I just eat whatever I can find in whatever fridge is closest. Oh, actually, I found an avocado in the office. Who knew we had avocados? And I ate it. That's about the level of excitement you're gonna get out of today's show. I ate something. And knight c3, I went a6, which is not a good move. I end up playing it quite a bit after knight f3. I want to go bishop g4. But if I play some random move, bishop e3 or h3 or f3, a6 will probably not turn out to be that useful. After ed though, cd, now I'm already kind of happy. Because my knight can go to c6, then I can go knight f6, bishop g4. We are transposing to this, what's called Veresov. You would normally get that after d4, d5, knight c3, c5. How do we get it? Hard to construct. Bishop f4. Okay, let me try again. I can't do it. d4, d5. Since he hasn't played bishop f4, it's harder to reconstruct. Knight c3, c5, e3. Well, that would be a strange move. cd, ed, a6 would be the same position. Anyway, not a very important point that I was clumsily making. Canering saying they eat Doritos. Is that a family tradition? What are Doritos? Those are things I should probably know. And it does ring a bell, but I can't recall ever eating Doritos. Is that weird? Ah, yeah, I do know those. It's tortilla chips. Ah, yeah, I've had those. 92. Makes sense, so I can't pin him with bishop g4. Or I can, but then he can unpin by going f3. Still feels like the most sensible move in the position. If f3, I'll go bishop h5, bishop g6. and ridden myself of my quote-unquote bad bishop on c8. Suki Ray is back with us. He's saying, we did it, guys. Doritos first term Googled. Do you have like a drinking game that you have to take a shot whenever I Google something? It's not that hard. I'm a curious guy. Like, not about relevant stuff. I don't know how to multiply. I literally probably wouldn't know how to multiply. Like, in writing. Would I? Maybe I would. I'm not sure. I could Google it. Or I could probably type it into the Google calculator. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not that classically educated. Actually, I went to school, I just forgot everything. But I'm very concerned about getting or maintaining a proper nerducation level. So, we have something to talk about. What do we have to talk about? Lefty John had some last night, but not for Thanksgiving. That's still Doritos we're talking about? Aren't those unhealthy? Aren't you all health freaks in America? I thought all you eat is kale and... I don't even know. What do people eat nowadays? You do eat avocados, right? Isn't that what the hipsters eat? This kale thing we don't even have in Europe. Or... I'm not aware of it. I wouldn't know where to get my kale. Carneering is saying Doritos is an important element of a classical education. I would not disagree. Suki Ray is saying no one eats Doritos for Thanksgiving. LOL. I don't know. Might be fake news, but now it is a fact that I will use for future reference. Who knew? The crazy Americans. All they do is get together on a Thursday to thank for the harvest, even though they haven't harvested anything. Let's be honest here. You guys, none of you guys watching have harvested anything this summer, and you eat Doritos. Is that about right? I'm slightly worse, by the way, against Elias03 Huliberg Sidali, because he's playing well. He's gonna put his knight here. Well, I've just been doing, I don't know, I've been Googling Doritos. But now that I'm slightly worse, I will switch to... what was I gonna say? I think focus is the word I was looking for. But if I can't even think of the word focus, then probably my focus is not perfect yet. Let's call it teething problems, because this is the first game. And I will be my usual mediocre grandmaster within no time. I'm not really operating at, I was gonna say full capacity, but I don't know what that is. I'm not making a lot of sense today, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your Thanksgiving with my mumbling. Now e5, that's a present and a pleasant surprise, because I still was more concerned about b4 and the knight going to c5. Now I guess there should be some way for me to be slightly better. Maybe I'll take it. I did take it, so the maybe may not be necessary. Lefty John is saying the harvest was great. I stand corrected. Carnering did harvest a lot of Doritos. And I'm tempted to look up if you can grow your own Doritos. But I have a feeling... What are they made of? Corn? I know nothing about nutrition. Even though, well, we've talked about this the other day. I'm not going back there. I watched a documentary on Netflix, which is the way we get our information nowadays. And I was shocked. Cowspiracy. Almost turned me into a vegan. I'm not there yet because I lack willpower, but I'm considering it. I watched the other one this guy did, What the Health, and I didn't like it that much because it used too many scare tactics and whatnot. So, still contemplating my options here. Why are we talking about nutrition while I'm losing on time? Topic I know nothing about. I would like to take this pawn. That's a topic I know a lot about. Now rook c5, rook b1, king h2. Nah. Okay, let's go for it. I was hoping for king f2, knight d3 check. To be perfectly honest with you. Didn't happen, so now I'm sad. There's no real checkmates here. First game. Bear with me. Surprise. I don't like the vibe of today's show. And I'm not blaming you Thanksgivers. I'm blaming myself, as I tend to do. That's the one redeeming quality I have. That normally I don't look for fault in others. Well, I constantly look for fault in myself. Is that redeeming? I don't know. Anyway, let's restart the show. Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of Banter Blitz. This is episode 117. And it's a very special one because it is Thanksgiving for our friends in the USA and Canada and Liberia and parts of the Caribbean islands. So happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to you guys. Challenge me to a game of 5-minute chess if you happen to be a Chess24 Premium member, and we'll play a lovely game of chess. Our first game today is against Epic Awesomeness from the United States of America. And Epic Awesomeness probably does not refer to his Blitz rating. That implies that he's quite new to chess, but it could be that he's sort of a Barney Stinson type of character that is awesome in non-chess ways. I don't know how people can express themselves away from the chessboard. But I've been told that these things do exist. We are playing the Scottish, where I went bishop to c5. My usual habit is to play knight to f6. But you have to mix it to win the biscuit. Do you guys have biscuits for Thanksgiving? How did this line go? I go here, right? You go bishop e2. Or did Gary play bishop b3 here? So much stuff to know in chess. Knight b5? Is that a bit of a problem maybe? f4 doesn't look like a problem. Knight b5 could have been interesting. Bishop c5, I must admit, I'm not a big theory guru on. Knight f6, I like to think I know my way around, but bishop c5, pretty much winging this one. Epic Awesomeness, so far, playing, well, I wouldn't say awesome or epic, but I'd say pretty well. I'm trying to get some pieces into the game. And I was too chicken to go rook f8 because of the f7 dude. Can I take on f5? I really want to. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to exploit all these pins and needles. What's a skewer again? That's another of your complicated chess terms. It's not a fork. I know what pork is, and I know what a fork is. But a skewer? We'll find out. I'll try to get a skewer in. Queen d3. Get out the way. Bolo is explaining Thanksgiving. He's saying Thanksgiving today is celebrated to give thanks to the Almighty for the bountiful life we enjoy. This might be a language barrier thing again. What does bountiful life mean? Is it like if you're a bounty hunter and you catch a lot of guys, then you lead a bountiful life? Probably not. What famous bounty hunters are there? Is Renegade still up and running? See, that's how old I am. Those are my references. Lorenzo Lamas as Renegade. There's a dude called Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? So I probably have to Google bountiful. Even though I like my definition of it so far. Bountiful. Freigebig. It says freigebig, but that's not a German word. I'm gonna have to write a letter to Google. Dear Google, I typed bountiful into your translator and the answer I got was freigebig, which is not a word. Is it a word? That's not a word, right? German speakers out there? Freigebig? I'm familiar with freigebig, freizügig, but freigebig is not a word. So I'm gonna need more information. I'm also gonna need more of Epic Awesomeness's pieces. But that's gonna have to wait for a moment. I took quite some. I took the rook on e1 and the bishop on d1, so that's a good start. After he finally fell for one of my skewed... That's not a skewer, it's just a pin, right? Yeah, I think it's just a pin. Don't you know, I'm just a pin. What are we discussing? People are claiming freigebig is a word. That's not a word. I put it on the screen. I'm familiar with freigebig. But freigebig is not a word. I read a lot of books when I was a kid. So I know all the words. Don't quote me on that. I'm aware you can't know all the words. Someone once asked me if I knew all the words in a particular language. I thought they're probably not that bright. But maybe they were. I was wrong and condescending. And I'm gonna lose on time. I am up a rook and a piece, which is good news. But I've been really thrown off guard by this freigebig. Okay, Epic Awesomeness. You've played a good game, but it's time to stop messing around. This is it. Thank you for the game. People are still telling me that freigebig is a word. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google it. Sorry for the very exciting German word looking up part. Google does disagree with me that it is a word. Who knew? Apparently it means generous. I still disagree. Should be freigebig. Maybe they used it in the old days when there were more freigebig. Alright, thanks for the game, Epic Awesomeness. Let's play maybe another game of chess. Against Christian Frankler. Okay, next game. I'm going to have to find some offense. An even stronger opponent than Christian Frankler. Because a lot of people have this rule. If I play 3 opponents below 2,000 in a row, they switch off the show. Is that true? Could be true. My plan is to fianchetto my bishop, so it has a clear sight on this long diagonal. After castles, I'm going to go knight c3. Because now, if you were to play c6 intending to play d5, I wouldn't have to go knight f3, d5. But instead I can play e4, occupy the center, and avoid the slightly dull symmetrical structure that would arise after knight f3, d5. Frami SC is saying, Mr. Gustafsson, misspelling Gustafsson, first offense, unfortunately, also misspelled, your vocabulary is very restricted. Consult Duden Universalwörterbuch, Googles Wörterbuch. Yeah, I don't know, you're probably right. And thank you for teaching me about the freigebig. I feel like I've learned a valuable lesson. Then again, misspelling all the words and my name while you're calling my vocabulary restricted, when I believe you probably mean limited. I'm not sure. What else am I missing? Yep, we've settled that freigebig and freigebig both exist. Drop it. What's going on in this game? I don't know which move to make. Do you guys sometimes have that problem that you want to make a move but you don't know which one? I feel like it's one of my biggest issues when I'm playing chess. What else is going on? Lefty John is asking, Jan, would you like to have a giant blimp of yourself in the Macy's Day Parade? And I'm gonna say yes, but I also have to look up both blimp and the Macy's Day Parade. But it sounds like giant something of me in a parade. Sounds like it's right up my alley. So I'm already gonna say yes. Then Google blimp, which I feel is a word I should probably know. Even though... Oh, it's like a Zeppelin? Who knew? Non-rigid airship. Alright, so we've established that. Now Macy's Day Parade. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's in New York City. It's organized by the beloved. Is it beloved? The shopping center Macy's. I've been there. 250,000 people are watching this. Aren't you busy eating your turkeys? Right. I feel like we've all learned a lot today. And now, back to the chess. I'm not all that impressed with how I've played this, because I have some dark square weaknesses against Christian Frankler. And if he goes 96, 97, 94, it's not that clear how I'm supposed to act. I'm going to try to be in time to meet 96 with knight d5, so that my dark square weaknesses don't become too much of an issue. But I'm not sure if I've done very well here. Time to ask him what future plans does he have for this knight. He goes knight e6, but yeah, this knight d5 I was hoping would be a little awkward to me, since after either capture or recapture with the c-pawn and I win a piece. So the queen has to go somewhere, and then hopefully I can take a pawn or do something else. Well, I'll pretty much take the pawn. And back to square 3. Rook b8. Let's just cover the pawn in case we need it. Christian Frankler hanging in there so far. Good job by Christian Frankler. Knight c7. Sometimes we lose sight of a square that one of our pieces or one of our opponent's pieces had just visited. Like here, he probably thought there was just something on b6. So he forgot that the knight can still jump there. And it does deliver a nasty double attack. Christian Frankler resigns because the knight fucked up his whole game plan. Thanks for the game, Christian Frankler. All right. Let's find a strong opponent. Where my strong opponent's at? Celebrating Thanksgiving? Nah, in Europe we don't really celebrate that all that much, do we? How about Mr. Schildkröte 77? I feel like I played Schildkröte, probably Bullet the other day. But I'm not sure we've ever Banter Blitzed. Schildkröte, I like that name. It's like a combination of Schildkröte, which means turtle, and to chill, which means to relax. There must be a better word than relax. What do I do here? This? I think I normally play bishop f4, but I once spent some time looking at stuff like this as well and concluded it should also be slightly better for white, even though I can't say I recall many of the details. Generally, the white structure is a bit better. This pawn controls the square, and there's always this imminent problem for black that one day you probably have to go c6 to cover this square. Then white might be able to use the slight weakness of the pawn. I don't know any theory here. Knight a4 looks like a logical enough move to capture this bishop, but I also can't really see anything wrong with trying to go b3, bishop b2, and keeping my options open with his knight if he wants to go to a4, to e4, to d5. We shall see. Too much of a sucker for the two bishops. I'm not sure this is best, like keeping the knight towards the center. Also felt sensible. But bishops. Bishops, baby. Deep thought, but I can't spot anything smarter than just swapping down. And going here. Should be better for me. Bishop's better pawn structure. But care is, of course, required. See my deep thought face? Didn't really think about anything. Bishop d3, bishop e5, bishop e2 looks very drawish actually. So if he goes bishop d3, I might have to be very humble, as is my nature, and just play. What was I going to say? King f2. Now after bishop g6, what should I do? I'd like to play king f2 yet again. Then knight d3 check forces off the bishops. Nah, it's all fairly little. Okay, I might have to go for this, but... Well, I didn't have to go for this, but I did go for this. Gotta be careful here that not all my pawns on the queen side fall victim to this evil bishop-knight combo. And I thought that if I just go a3, I would have things under control. In long term, things should be good, even though the long term can be very long sometimes. Knight c6, I guess I don't. No, I don't care. You can go to a5 for now. Yeah, if I manage to keep my queenside together, then after king d2, f4, bishop f3, g4, h4, some systematic expansion. My position should be quite good. I guess I should throw in g4 now before he goes h5. Just gaining some space for the future. Another question. Does h5 next move bother me? I think not too much, but I could be wrong. In general, black wants to exchange pawns here to ease his defensive task, and yeah, h5 is the correct choice. I guess I'm gonna have to live with it. f4 comes to mind, takes, bishop takes, but now keep the structure this way. Not easy to win this, actually, yeah. Black is very, very solid. But of course, I shall try. What I'm trying to figure out is how I can go f4 without him occupying some crucial squares. And the answer I came to is I can't, because his bishop will go to e4. So I'm gonna go this way, which looks a little counterintuitive because it gives away this square, but also limits his bishop. And after king e3, I feel like now it's a bit easier for me to expand following f4. And hopefully making something happen. g5, probably a good decision again. Restricting my dumb bishop here. Maybe I rushed. Don't rush. Yeah, I missed g5 to be perfectly frank. This looks fairly equal now. Sad. Offers a draw. He knows what he's done. But nah, not gonna be able to do it, my dear boy. Even though, yeah, bishop e2 is a terrible move. No, he's played well. Put all his pawns on the dark squares, as you do, since he's missing a dark square bishop. Exchanged a couple pawns and simplified towards a position that frankly should be a draw. But of course, I am trying to lose it instead. Yeah, this made zero sense, as we are used to by now. I talk a lot about the power of the two bishops, but I don't really show it much, do I? Oh boy. I don't see anything sensible to do. I can go king h5 and g5. Okay, it's half sensible. Next order of business. Go king h5, g5. Run, Goran. I don't have a lot of assets except from you in this position. So kind of relying on you. Because if you don't get it done, we might be in a bit of trouble here. Another tiny problem that I have is that even if Goran costs him the bishop as he does, it's not that easy to win with two bare bishops against a knight. Not even talking about a knight and a couple pawns. But it's a hard knock life, as we know. Ugh, that was a bit of a mistake. Okay, but he deserves a draw, so I shouldn't complain too much. Good job by Chilkrute77, keeping that position together. Good game by him, and fairly lousy endgame technique by yours truly. And maybe it was never anything special to begin with. Yeah, this position is quite defensible, and he's played well. I did not play well. Good job by Chilkrute. Okay, go back to chilling. Let's play Fidemaster. Findles. Ian Findley from the Canadas. I've been watching a show based in Canada. It's called Elias Grace. I feel it might not be contemporary Canada, but I'm not sure. I have to double check. Anyway, it's very gripping. Character, drama. Based on... Who is it based on? What's her name? Margaret Atwood? I believe that is her name. Wrote some book about somebody. I guess that's the source material. Knight c6. What can I do? d4 I can of course do. Or I can move the bishop here maybe. Looks sensible. And Mr. Master is inquiring if it is called the Canadas. The answer is yes. It is the United States and the Canadas. In case you're wondering when I'm serious and when I'm talking nonsense, I don't know myself. I just talk. Most of the time is nonsense. And sometimes I'm serious. But there's no like when I change my tone of voice or whatever. I don't have a clue. Just rambling. These structures are always weird. More helpful insight. Generally, it always looks like black should be doing quite well after c, d, e, d, then let's say bishop a6. But I've always felt that they're not that easy to play with black. Even though here I might have messed up the timing, which of course changes the situation. If you can get in c5. That's not really what I wanted. Really not playing well today. That changes the equation. Now black is better. Sad. What can I do? Don't see a good move, so I'll play a bad one instead. That's often the way to do it. But of course, if black gets in c5, doesn't have to pay a price for it, then he's very comfortable. And here I have to make sure I don't lose material after some nasty knight b4 or so, whatever. Well, basically, black has the two bishops and a sound structure, so he's in very good shape here. Focus. I've been getting a little sick. I don't like getting sick. Because as we know, no healthy chess player has ever played a bad game of chess. And I've played not one, but like 3 fairly terrible games of chess today already. So of course, the only possible explanation is the health. The health. Yeah, it's not a great position for me. Guess I have to go for danger. No, what's called damage control? I did miss queen b6, but I might still have some resources down, like knight d7 or something. Of course, black is perfectly fine, whatever he does here. But at least I might no longer be seriously worse, which is progress. Queen b6 now. Could still play this silly knight d7 move. Or any chances in any of the endgames? Not really. b2 is also hanging. Not a lot of options. So I'll pretend that I want to build scary pass pawn. However, after rook c8, that will probably remain a dream. I could try to build another scary pass pawn by playing a4. And then rook c2. I think I managed to be slightly worse again, after I had equalized for like 2 moves. Now once again, slightly worse it is. So a4 is like the logical move, then rook c2, rook d1, rook b2. Yeah, nothing great. Rook b2, I have knight d3 or knight c4. Run! Won't be easy to swindle Findles from here. Bishop e2 is a threat. See, it might be easier to swindle myself than to swindle him from this position. Where does my knight have to go? In the old days, Grandmaster Jonathan Rowson, he was teaching me that one should talk to one's pieces. With your pieces, to your pieces, I forgot what he was saying. He had some theory that you should talk to your pieces, ask them, where do you want to go, buddy boy? I don't think the buddy boy were his exact words. So this dude probably wants to go to c5, I'm guessing. I don't know, maybe I should have talked to him for longer. Maybe I misunderstood his intentions. This dude, he wants to go to A8. I chat with him. Fairly certain that's what he said. Mr. Rook, open file. I heard open file. I hope you meant the B file. Oh, Mr. Clock, you want me to flag him? Okay, that's my language right there. Check. You want to give a check? King G6, you're not afraid of Rook A1? We are afraid of Rook A1. Alright, let's make a Luft. Lufty Luft. King, you want to get out the way? Alright. I don't know, I feel like my latest communications with my pieces have been full of misunderstandings. Communication with the clock, spot on, however. Gotta give myself a pat on the back for that. You wanna go Rook D7 to pretend to parry his threat of Knight D3 when all you really want to do is win on time and find a good excuse for it? I hear ya. See? Now, I can't read minds, but I can read yours. Sorry, Findles. See? The magic of talking to your pieces. Thanks for the game, Findles, and yes, it was a very undeserved victory. By yours truly. Alright, let's play a noob. Well, let's first play this guy, who's a very strong player, then a noob. Noob. Proxima Centauri. A candidate master? Is that what CM stands for? I wouldn't know. CM. What do you need to be a CM? 2200? Do you need to hit a certain threshold of games? Do you need to stay above 2200 for like 30 games? Is that how it works? I don't know. But he seems very dedicated to blitzing out a bunch of moves. Generally this, if white gets bishop e3 and knight d2, it's supposed to be a very good King's Indian. Because all my pieces work together very naturally towards this kingside expansion. With b4, c5, knight comes to c4, bishop stays on f2. Well, my king is not really on g1 yet, so this typical plan that he's playing often does not lead to checkmate. But Proxima Centauri clearly has his own views on the topic. And who am I to argue? I don't know. I am a pawn grabber. That much I do know. Give me that pawn. Boom. Seems like he's played this position many a time. It's all in the book, and he knows that here you go knight h4, and the score level you will. That didn't rhyme, did it? Let's see. I'll even castle into it. Why are you blitzing out all these moves as if they made sense? It's scaring me. It's confusing me and scaring me. Mainly confusing. Some fear. Mainly confusion. Like my fear-confusion ratio is 18% fear, 80% confused, 2% hungry and sleepy. I believe that is the fair distribution. He started taking time, so he has not analyzed all of this until checkmate, which is big relief. The good news for me is that I'm completely winning. The bad news is you always have to pay attention in the King's Indian, because there could always be some trickery on the king side that you need to sniff out. Need a lot of sniffing here, though. Or, yeah, I'm not sure. No, you don't need that much sniffing, because it doesn't feel like there's that much trickery. See, but I'm already starting to drift. Gave him the e4 pawn for no reason whatsoever. And now, the going just got a lot tougher. Oh boy, why did I do that? Just planted the pawn for no reason whatsoever. Did I say no reason whatsoever already? I think I did. Okay, the good news is I should still be winning. But now the focus required just went up from like 18% focused to 82% focused, which is a dramatic shift in focusness. Another promise. I was going to go bishop b5, but I'm slightly worried about bishop takes g4 and hg. Do I get checkmated there? F3, rook f3. I am too chicken to find out. Deep thought. Was he thinking about knight g2? He's probably thinking about knight g2. Ugh, so complicated. No, he doesn't go for it. I thought knight g2, then queen h4. Might not work, but it looked interesting at least. Now, what can I do? I can still try to go for my bishop b5 trickery. Then after bishop g4, hg, the rook should be misplaced on g6. Maybe. Now's a good time for this. Who knows? Really shouldn't have blundered that e4 pawn. That made the going a lot tougher. Queen sacrifice. Drama. How many pieces does he have? He doesn't have enough pieces. That much we can conclude. Still gotta be careful, as always. But that looks completely winning, to be frank. Let's pick up some more stuff for a rainy day. And in this battle between queen and rook and 3 minor pieces, my money is on the queen and rook. I'm planning to have the h-pawn be the hero. The hero Gotham needs. Nah, change my plans. I'll just take all his pawns. Sometimes a hero has to look after the greater good. Hang in there, Proxima Centauri. Fortunately, I'm still winning. Oh, man. Grandmaster League technique. Take a bunch of stuff, blunder your queen, and somehow still win. Encourage opponents to never ever resign against you, because you might blunder your queen. It's also this position. Like, stuff could still happen. Knight c4. And now the going seems like it's getting tougher, but you never know. Let's think about this for a little bit. I could pin the knight, but now let's first try to centralize our king a little bit. Here, okay, this knight has caused me a great amount of distress, so I don't want it to be around. Okay, now this is getting so. Thanks for the game, Proxima Centauri. Yeah, that was a bad game. I'm slightly steaming just from how terribly I've been playing, which is pretty much the normal Banter Blitz experience. So let's play against Anna 1976 from India. Is that a tiger? She or he has a tiger as his profile picture. Is that the tiger from... you guys can't see it, right? From Life of Pi? I can't. That's very hard to cut it out too. The tiger from Life of Pi, he was good on a boat. I'm not sure how proficient he was running in water. I haven't checked in with the chat for a while. Chapacapacha says, when I steam, I start playing the Bonk Cloud, and then I start winning again. What's the Bonk Cloud? E4, King E2? Like, at some point, someone sent me a theory article about the Bonk Cloud, I believe. Yeah, I feel like... No, I normally don't do such things. As you might have noticed, I also don't play a lot of ridiculous stuff in the Banter Blitzes. Not so much because... no, I feel it's disrespectful to my opponents and also to chess, if such a thing exists. Probably it doesn't. But I feel like it's rude. I mean to play e4, king e2, and then to show, oh, look what a great player I am. I can play e4, king e2, which is ridiculous, and then still win the game. I feel like it's a bit rude to your opponent, and it shows a lack of respect for the rules of chess. That's why I don't do it. Yeah, I'm not judging here. I'm just saying I would be uncomfortable doing it, even though it could, like, make the show more entertaining. But in general, I don't like doing anything dumb. Or, well, doing anything dumb is wrong again. Playing anything ridiculous. Even though, well, on purpose, like, involuntarily I play dumb stuff all of the time. Here, Anna has been spending a little too much time moving her pieces around, especially as bishop g5 and after knight e4, bishop e3 is, yeah, some serious loss of time. I'm not sure if it's a big deal yet, but it's not ideal to give me two tempi here. I guess white should take fe, knight g5, bishop e2, queen e2, but that position is also uncomfortable already. Rook a8, then h6 is threatened. There should be a price to pay for losing all this time. He or she, I never know, takes and goes knight to d2. Which, yeah, maybe better move than knight g5. I'm not sure here if I want to exchange bishops. Generally, since I have more material, yeah, more space. Not more material yet, even though that's the dream. I guess I should keep bishops. Then again, if I go bishop g6, white could play bishop h5 anyway, exchanging them. So I'm not sure how much it accomplishes. But can't hurt much either, can it? Actually, Anna's played very well after the early loss of time here. Yeah, looks like white is equalized. If I go somewhere with my queen, then f3 would come. So the best I can see is go for this endgame, but I'm not really better here after de followed by f3. So good job, Anna. I actually slept well tonight. I didn't sleep so much the nights before. And I often feel a little zombie-ish when I don't get enough sleep. But I don't have that excuse today. I still feel very zombie-ish. Is zombie-ish a word? Let me look it up. How would you even spell zombie-ish? It is known to the Victionary, so I'll take that as an official source. Zombie-ish. Comparative, more zombie-ish. Superlative, most zombie-ish. It's not the zombie-ishest. All right. Still educational. b3 feels wrong. I understand the desire to kick this knight away. But now it can maybe. Well, it has a decent square on d3. Hopefully I can exploit some weaknesses in white's position one day. Chapa Capacha saying it's true the bonk cloud is a little disrespectful, but psychologically speaking it has a huge impact. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't work. A lot of these things, psychologically speaking, have an impact. That's why people like doing them. Like play 1h5, and then if you lose, okay, but I play 1h5. I was only kidding around. Well, if you win, look what a champion I am. I can play 1h5 and humiliate you by still winning the game. So it gives you a bit of a free roll psychologically. But yeah, I don't like it. Give me that pawn. I do like taking pawns. 96, something to worry about. Bit of a concern. Yeah, pity. I was dreaming of a pawn. What else is going on? Mr. Master is saying Houdini is crushing Komodo in the 100-game super final. What's that? They're playing the Computers World Championship? Stockfish is out? Stocky Boy no good? I've been using Stockfish, whatever it is, 8, pretty exclusively the last years. Oh, Houdini and Komodo, huh? That's a surprise. Or I guess it's a surprise. I don't really know anything about the scene, I guess. I guess they're all fairly equally good. That's at least in my position for many years now. It doesn't really matter if your engine has 3250 or 3310. It's more important that you are comfortable with it and understand what tendencies it has and whatnot. And I've grown used to Stockfish 8 recently. Even though I still like Houdini. For some reason, I could never really relate to Komodo, which once again is not a playing strength thing, just what engines you understand and what you don't. Alright, let's play another chess game. Against Breaker 90. And I'm reading that Stocky Boy didn't make it. Poor Stocky. How warm could this coffee possibly be? Breaker 90 goes e4. Stockfish had the highest SB but failed to beat weaker opponents as frequently as Houdini or Komodo. Okay, so head to head. He'd still be good, or he was still doing well. Well, that justifies it for, well, I don't really pay attention to these computer tournaments, but that makes some sense that, he's not optimized for beating weaker opposition because he's too objective. That's how I'm gonna argue it, but I don't really have a clue. Yeah, my money, well, once again, this is more of a comfort thing. My money would be on Houdini versus Komodo, but I have no clue. Okay, so I've given some expert opinions on computer chess, mainly based on me not having a clue. Let's give some expert opinions on human blitz chess, where I played the Pirts against Breaker 90. Here, I played this a lot in my younger years. I normally went for the setup with c6 and then either b5 or knight b7 and e5. Feels like most strong players nowadays prefer to play with a6 instead of c6. And after a4, you either go for plans with b6, bishop b7, or I've seen people do stuff like knight to c6, tending to play e5. Well, after d5, you can maybe put this knight on b4, where it no longer can be chased away so easily. Obviously, white is fine here after de or d5. de, the more solid choice. But in these positions, sometimes you have to be a little bit careful with white, surprisingly, because the black pieces are quite well placed for this structure. I'm going to start with h6, so I can put my bishop on e6 without having to worry about knight g5. Even though now he can go bishop c4, so the timing is always very important here. I feel like h6 might have been wrong because of bishop c4. Generally, if I get bishop e6, then it will be easier to play this with black. I once had something very similar with white versus Wang Hao. Queens were on the board, but I misplayed the position and he got both this and this. And then all of a sudden it's very hard for white to come up with plans, because you can't go knight d5. If you move this knight away, you always have the problem that knight d4 is looming or knight b4. So he had to go bishop c4 last move. So the timing is very important for such structures. Obviously black is not winning or anything, but now it's easier to play with black, because I have more constructive plans. Knight h5, knight f4, knight b4, targeting the c2 pawn. But for white, it's very hard to come up with sensible moves if you try thinking of a move here. Not an easy thing to do. He goes bishop c5, which I guess I could question that bishop by playing b6. Or knight d7. I think I'll go here. Then, of course, the problem is after bishop e3, it feels like my best move is to go back to f6, keeping complete control, which is not really what I want. Instead, he goes bishop a3. Can I go knight b6? Looks very artificial, but I'll give it a try. I want to control the d5 square yet again, therefore knight d4 was possible, but takes ed knight d5 didn't look like anything special. So I'll go here. I guess the best is bishop back to c5. Then I'm going to have to look around. Now after rook d1 I was going to take, and knight d1, a4 is hanging. Bishop d1, knight c4 was awkward. So he rightly avoids that, goes b3. When, I guess the time has come to... Well, I could go bishop f8. That might be a decent start. Tends to be in black's favor to exchange these dark squared bishops, because now once again I get access to the b4 square. And here, maybe some people would show some deep understanding by going rook a8, saying in these structures you need to keep rooks on the board for winning chances. But I lack such deep insights. I'll just take it like a caveman. My next order of caveman business is bring my king somewhere over here. White does, as he should, follow the same idea. Alright, now what do I do next? f6 allows him to gain some activity with knight h4. Is g5 anti-positional? I wish I knew such things. Or no one knows anything. I wish I had an easier time evaluating such factors. d2, knight b4, king e2 does not get a lot done, so maybe I should try to grab some space here, stop him from going bishop g4. One day I might be able to expand with h4 and f5. Of course this position is still within the realms of a draw, but it's easier to play with black. And now can I take this guy? Looks like, no? You know how I feel about pawns. The rest should be fairly straightforward. Pawn up, well, I still have all the pluses that I had accumulated earlier. But still gonna win. My endgame technique, it's never been my strength, but I feel like it's gotten worse. And I understand I don't talk it a lot, so I get a lot of flack. Some of it deserved by LOL whenever there's an endgame. Jan in endgames. But I really feel like I've gotten a lot more insecure I've never been that great in technical endgames, but I've never been afraid of like positional endgames like this one, where it feels like you just, by using some common sense, you bring home the bacon. But recently I just don't trust my own judgment in those which, I don't know, could be matter of practice, blah, blah, blah. But it's something I've noticed that bothers me. Because it shouldn't be that hard to win such a position, frankly. They do require a minimum of common sense, though, and sometimes I've been lacking that very sense. See, the drifting has already started again. This will make it easier. If he went fg first, I actually have to find some good moves. Or king c3 first. Now the magic of the Zwischenschach will win the day. Flagville. Let's play Flo. Flo. What is your real name, Mr. Flo? Is it Florian? Because Flo tends to be short for Florian. But since he's a double Flo, I don't know what that means. Flo is also this... I should know that, but I'm bad at animals. Am I going nuts? That's a bit of a rhetorical question. I'm going slightly mad. Okay, this line. Queen c2 or e3 are the main tries here. I think they mainly go e3 these days, even though I never knew what to do after bishop to f5 in this position, to be honest with you. Knight f6, bishop d3 looks alright. They've tried stuff here as well, but here you need to play some very specific move orders to justify what you've done. Because if white gets, let's say, h3, knight f3 castles, he has a good game here with the bishop already on f4. So when black normally chooses this move order, he has something very direct in mind, some knight bd7, knight h5 business. In this position, it might look like the bishop is better on g5 than on f4. My main line is actually better on f4 because black doesn't have any simplifying operations like knight e4 or knight h5 as he would have with the bishop on whatever the other square is called. a3, a bit of a random move, I have to admit. I was trying to figure out which animal flow with an H's, and it's flea. More flea English lessons for me. Knight g6. If I go bishop h2, I guess he goes bishop d6, and there's actually nothing special. So yeah, a3 might not have been the way to do this. Good job by Dr. Flo. Black is alright now. I'll play it very traditionally. Actually, might as well recapture with a knight. No point in encouraging him to go queen d6, check, king g1 back. Because, well, I still probably need knight f3. Yeah, actually, I need it immediately. I don't want any knight h4 shenanigans. So, yeah, didn't make a big difference. I thought I was smart by not going king h2, queen d6, king g1. But this move order instead. But it comes down to the same thing. As we can see. Now we have a fairly standard minority attack position. He goes b5, which is risky since the knights are quite far away from the c4 square. Normally, if you want to go b5, you want to be more or less ready to put a knight on b6 or on d6 and then plug it into c4. But it's still a valid strategy, of course. What can I do? Try to bring my own knight to c5. I'm not sure via which route or route. b3, the problem is b4 might hang in certain positions. Well, e1 felt a bit passive. This whole position I'm not too fond of. Knight h4, there's always counterplay on the king side here. Generally, Flo playing a very good game. Showing he understands these structures. Well, I've played these structures all my life, but sometimes something feels a little off. Now I have some tactics maybe. As usual, if the positional stuff don't work, use tactics to bail you out. But I'm not sure they're any good. Bishop b5, rook c3 is best, queen c3, cb5. Nah, it doesn't look like white is better there, does it? So knight b3, queen takes b4. Any tactics there? Knight c5, queen a5. Don't see any either. Very unfortunate. So what else can I do? Can't think of a move. Very upsetting. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Rook a7, okay, that's an invitation that I have to accept. I believe if I get 2 pawns here, 2 pawns and a rook for my 2 minor pieces, and I can push my b pawn up the board quickly, that should be a very fair harvest. Harvest that I should be thankful for. Han Gao saying, I'm glad Jan is now competing in tournaments other than Thailand. Who is spreading such vicious rumors? Which tournament other than Thailand did I compete in? Unless, of course, you mean the Banter Blitz. But I've always competed in the Banter Blitz. Yeah, here as mentioned, the b pawn should be too strong. Often the minor pieces are fairly helpless in such positions. Recently I've seen it where Caruana sort of blundered into such a situation against Nicolas Lubbe, I believe, in the Isle of Man. He somehow managed to save a draw, but such positions are normally extremely, extremely unpleasant for black. And this one is no exception. Here, yeah, I think it's pretty much game over. Very hard to stop that guy. Mr. Master keeps saying, I've never played Jan in Blitz and I've been here a lot. That's weird, Mr. Master, because if I click on your avatar, it says my score against you is 1-0. So, what do you have to say about that? Was that not a Blitz game? By the way, speaking of Blitz games, I should try not to lose on time. Somehow Flo managed to hang around That's something that I'm also a bit unhappy with, but what can you do? That I always lose focus when I know that I'm going to win on time. Start making a lot of ridiculous moves, which of course doesn't normally affect the outcome. But I'd rather. I don't know. Mr. Master says, yes, it wasn't bullet, Jan. You called me world champion of chess. Alright, you convinced me. Let's play a game. I don't appreciate the asking for games excessively. But let's play Mr. Master. If I did call him world champion of chess, then there must be something to him. If I can find his challenge, maybe I can't. Who knows? There he is. Mr. Master. Goes g3. I believe I covered this in my video series on d4 sidelines. I forgot as usual though. What did I give you? I think I gave bishop d7 and I felt very smart about myself. Don't ask me for the logic behind it, but I must have had some point. What could my point have been? Maybe after knight b3 I wanted to put this bishop here. Does that make any sense? I'm pretty sure I had a point. Fuchsia saying, I played Jan once. Now I have issues. What issues you got? We all got issues. If you watch this show, you know that I've got many issues. Many. I should stop saying that. I'm reasonably at peace these days. And I feel like I'm overdoing this public persona of miserable and depressed. Am I? I don't know. Let's see how Mr. Master feels about it. Gf or bishop f6, you could argue for both. I went Gf so I can harass this knight ASAP. But of course, as usual, there is a price to pay. There's also a price to pay for putting the knight on c5 though. And that price is a nice, or a knight. It's a nice knight. Horse with no name. I've overheard that Horse with no name song so much, but it has a strangely calming influence on me. And I still don't know the lyrics. On the first day of the journey, I was checking out the plans. Probably doesn't say I was checking out the plans. Let me find the lyrics. A horse with no name lyrics. If you haven't heard that song, by all means check it out. I'm not a music buff. Even though I just got this biography, what's it called? I forgot what it's called, which is not ideal. That's based Sticky Fingers? Was it called Sticky Fingers? I think it was called Sticky Fingers. It's based on the life of this guy called Jan Venner, who was the guy behind Rolling Stone magazine. So I'm very curious about that, even though I don't really follow the music scene. But tales of ambition and success and failure and power, the hunger for more, I'm always very much into. So I'm gonna read that book, very much looking forward to it. Jan Venner, I think it's called Sticky Fingers. And what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not much of a music guy, so you shouldn't trust my music recommendations. But I don't think it's a stretch to say, if you don't like A Horse with No Name, you might not have a heart. Maybe it is a stretch to say. It is not a stretch to say that I'm completely winning here, because I'm a piece up. And And pieces do matter in chess, no matter what they tell you. No matter how they attack. Pieces are relevant. People are always talking about, no, we have to renew our understanding of chess. In modern chess, pieces are not so important. It's all about being a rook up. People are writing books about that. Just a mere extra piece does not get the job done nowadays. I disagree. Pieces still matter. Even though rooks do matter more. So after rook d4, knight f3. I'm happy to make the transition into a rook up position. But I'm only in that position to be a rook up, because I'm currently a piece up. Of course, he can go ed, but after knight f3, followed by e3. Once again, the going does get fairly tough. And when the going gets tough, the tough go home, I believe, is a well-known saying, which at least I've lived my life according to. Alright, let's get the job done here. Knight h4, king h3, queen g2, king h4, queen h2, king g5. Ugh, line is too long. So knight e1, king f2. It's already too long as well. I might not be able to make a move. I'll go with this, I guess. Grandmasterly calculating skills. I found a mate in, I don't know, 3. By not liking the other 2 moves. That's how you do it. Pure Kotovian, what's it called? Candidate moves. Look at all the checks. One of them could be made in a couple of moves. Thank you for the game, Mr. Master. Oh, it's late. Let's play one last game, then go home. But I feel like I should play more than one. Nah, let's play. Let's play some more. Since this is an extra sleepy session, you can fast forward it. And therefore, I can go a little longer, since you can't watch it at 2 times the speed. And then it will come down to the normal session. If you catch my drift. I'm mainly playing this guy, because I enjoy his username. He has a Wesley So picture, and he's called No Pawn Intended, which is a good username. Gotta give him that. We are playing the good old Sicilian. He's playing very free-spirited, so I shall follow his lead. If you can take some liberties like a3, d3, I can do the same. Go e6, g6. So many questions. Is the next Banterton planned? No, there's no Banterton planned, but we should do one day, shouldn't we? I'll look into it. I'll see if I can find some sicko contributors. Because look at me, I've barely been bantering for an hour and a half and I'm already falling asleep. And it's not because of the chess games. It's because we all get older. We keep losing energy every minute. But yeah, it sounds like something we should do again. I think the smart people have been telling me, nah, Bantertons, they don't move the needle that much. But it's kind of fun, even though you hate it in the process when you're sitting there at 4 a.m. Starting your 8th hour of playing Blitz games. Yeah, we'll do one again. That's the end of this very rambling analysis. Don't know when. I'll look into it. Bishop g5. You are attacking my queen, sir? Okay, I finally managed to Google the lyrics from A Horse with No Name, a song that I've been obsessed with for a while now. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. I like that they were too lazy to come up with a better word than things. They're like me, the America lyricist. There were plants and birds and rocks and screw it, and things. Stuff. Should have used stuff. There was sand and hills and rings. I mean, when they were texting, they were saying, you know, I really want to put in the song that there was rings. You guys can come up with any word that rhymes with rings, maybe? I don't know. Brings? Schlings? Things! Boom! How do we do this? Yeah, I got it. There was plants and birds and rocks and things. No, the first one, use were, because it's plural. But then the second, let's go with there was. There was sand and hills and rings. First thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. I've never looked at the lyrics. Sounds so different when you actually see the lyrics. The heat was hot. more solid songwriting. The heat was cold. That would have been an unexpected turn. The ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. Yeah, sometimes. I feel like song lyrics are often like blitz games. One should not overanalyze them, or takes all the fun out of them. Chapakapacha is asking, what time is it in Hamburg right now? It is right now 5:38 p.m. And Lefty John is suggesting over Christmas break. Let me have a bit of a life too, Lefty John. I gotta go see the in-laws actually celebrate the Christmas break, spend it with the family. So not gonna happen this time around, unfortunately. But we'll get it done over some non-break. The commutator saying, Yola Tango has a cool song, Louis, that references that Horse with No Name song. I'll look into it. I believe A Horse with No Name will from now on be my only hobby. Like, I want to capture this horse on F3 and call it names after capturing it, while my knight shall remain a horse with no name. I'm not sure how many Banter Blitz shows I can spend talking about a horse with no name. But that's how I spent my day. I listened to A Horse with No Name on repeat. Hang on, I closed some window, did I? Ah, here we are. See, I caught myself leaning back. And no pun intended has now realized what he's done. Sorry, it's too late, no pun intended here after knight f5. My apologies. I should have got knight h4. White is fine. But such is life. Alright, who shall we play next on this lovely Thanksgiving Thursday? Did I come to the apologies section already for the uninspired sleepy show? Probably not. Let's play against Arch CM. Oopa, oop, oof. My back. What's Arch CN? Are you an Arch Canadian? Or is it just your name? Probably your name is Archibald? Archie? Do your friends call you Archie? Or just Arch? Don G wanted me to play an American. Did it have to be a US American, or are you cool with me playing Arch? And d5. Let us chase the bishop away. Knight take on c3 I don't like. First of all, it gives me the two bishops, which I have not used to great effect already early on this show, but I still believe in the bishops, even if I can always use them. And it allows me to untangle very easily by putting my knight here. I believe in my video series I gave some odd move. Instead of knight after knight e2 I gave c6. Rook e8 is also fine, and d5 is of course also fine as well, but after a3 you should keep the bishop, go to d6 or to e7, and things are supposed to be alright. This of course is not the end of the world, but you're giving me a little something to work with in the form of the bishops. I like b6 though. Now after cd you probably want to go knight d5. Well, after bishop e2 you can take on c4. I can't think of anything better to do though, so I'll go here. Don G is saying it's a holiday here, Jan. Come on, Don G, we've spent the whole show talking about Thanksgiving and wishing you guys a happy Thanksgiving and a long and prosper harvesting session. So I know all about it. I'm guessing you were working on the turkey. Therefore, you've missed the crucial Thanksgiving part of today's show. I was in LA 2 years ago during Thanksgiving, and I found out you guys are very serious about Thanksgiving. We tried to find a restaurant, like me and some friends that also like have no other friends. And it was almost impossible to find a place that was open during Thanksgiving. We even walked into some places that looked like they were open, but then they said, no, sorry sir, it's closed, private ceremony. So very hard to find a place to eat during Thanksgiving. No moral to the story, just sharing my unique Thanksgiving experiences. Here against Dr. Arch, I should try to make use of the two bishops somehow, but I always fail. Very punch drunk today. You know how I get upset at myself for being a horrible chess player? So do I. Let's get out the way. Bishop is not ideal on b3, but I didn't want to face knight e5 with tempo. Generally, you want to have this pawn on e4 against this construction of knight on f6 and bishop on b7. The pawn on e4 is normally good, restricting the black pieces as much as it can. But the rest of my pieces are not placed ideally, so now it should be some painful reshuffling. Rook c1, rook d1, knight a4 maybe. Since I'm unhappy with the contents of today's show, let me look at my notes, because sometimes when I think of something funny, which I think I'll forget in a minute, I write it down. And the problem is most of these observations are not that witty, but let's see what we get. I have YR resign and resign, the same word. That is confusing. Isn't it? Like if you sign a new contract, it's the same word. No, I resigned as I resigned. I believe there should be a bigger discrepancy between these two words. So that's my one very witty observation. What else do I have? Beauty is in the eye of the tiger. That does make a lot of sense. Because I believe people say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So maybe that's just, a funny thing for me to say. Beauty is in the eye of the tiger. What else do I have? I am like blind Superman because I have no supervision. Ah, that's clever. I think I heard it somewhere. Where was it? Some Eminem song? Think about it. It's very witty, isn't it? But I don't want to steal Eminem lyrics. I think it was Eminem. But it's funny. How can I win? I'm better here. Make no mistake. White is better. But I'm not sure how to reshuffle my pieces. I've struggled finding sensible moves today. I could bring the knight here, then argue that my bishops control all the entry squares. So it's all good. But after g6, I'm still not sure how to proceed. Maybe queen g5. Yeah, it actually looks like a decent plan. Hagar is saying, so I watched the first 3 episodes of The Wire and I have to admit I don't understand the hype. Hang in there, come back to me after the first 3 seasons. You'll still doubt yourself in season 2. Why am I doing this to myself? Why do I have to watch all this stuff at the docks with the white drug dealers? But you'll get there. And Hammerstorm Ulf is confirming, yes, it is from Eminem's Groundhog Day. Yeah, I felt it was an Eminem reference. So now I've blown my whole comedic material for the next 8 months. I don't think I have any more notes, do I? Buy milk, eggs, cereals? Nah, probably. That's just a shopping list. $8 p.m. restaurant Antonio. We reserve. That's also not a joke. Maybe I should organize my notes better. Like jokes or appointments or porn grabbing. They should be in different categories, I feel like. I can win material. Or I can flag. Is this a wise pre-move? If he goes rook d6, would be sort of a bad pre-move. But Arch CN does resign. Thanks, Archie. Let's play against Hail Bob. What's Hail Bob again? What's the word? Comet? No. I should know such things, but I don't. I always get frustrated that I know so little. Yeah, comet was a word. Boom. I'm so smart. But then again, it's good that I know so little, because it means there's a lot of stuff out there still to learn. And I've been told that learning is one of life's great pleasures. There was this guy now who played Magnus, who tried to learn chess in a month and then beat the world champion. That sounded like a silly proposition, right? I mean, I'm hooked on this concept of mastering a new skill every month, but isn't it either very naive or a little disrespectful to the lovely game of chess that you can spend a month on it, then beat the world champion? I don't know. Felt like, Wall Street Journal was up to a bit of nonsense pushing that story. Anyway, this guy said he was working on this algorithm and he didn't quite finish his algorithm that then he was going to upload into his brain, or I don't know what story he was feeding us. So he wasn't in time to have the algorithm for the game against Magnus. But if you ever finish the algorithm and you are looking for a much weaker player to play a lovely match of chess against, anytime, Mr. Deutsch, I believe was his name. Hellbob is not with us. I should wrap this up at some point, right? But we're having so much fun, aren't we? Now I no longer feel bad, because now this is more like a banter-ton vibe, where I don't feel the need to like be educational or entertaining or anything. Now we can just crank out some more games while we're waiting for those turkeys to get roasted. Let's play against Varo87 from Costa Rica. Dear US Americans, Costa Rica is not part of the United States. Puerto Rico is. I'll go with this system, which recently I've been playing more in like Dumb Blitz games, and it seems like it's been played more in all areas of chess. Paco Vallejo played it against Rajabov recently, and it looks like it's a pretty good system actually. So I'm expecting it to be here to stay. White doesn't develop the knight to f3 as rapidly. Instead, keeps the option of pushing his pawns up the board here with g4. And I quite like it. Often this is not so much a checkmating attack, sort of a prophylactic attack, making it harder for black to organize counterplay on the king side by playing f5 himself. Varo87 goes for rook e8, but that doesn't feel very King's Indian-ish, does it? No, maybe a good time to get this knight into the game, even though bishop g4, yeah, maybe still wasn't a good time. Needed a little more patience, and he does go bishop g4. Kudos to you, good sir. Yeah, knight f3 was dumb. I'd like to go knight d2, but it runs into knight d3 check. Queen a5? Asking for b4. Alright. I'm sure you heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. Queen c7 doesn't put up much of a fight. At least take here. A, b, queen b4. There might be some happenings. Well, now it's just a piece. Chapacapacha is asking, wasn't Paco Jan's second once? Yeah, in the old days, Paco. Well, we've always like sort of casually worked on chess or talked about chess. In the old days, he joined me to Dortmund in 2008 and 2012. I believe that's it. Yeah, I'm sure we've had like training camps and we've been on the same team once in a while in Spanish League and the German League, and we've been friendly forever. If I had more time, I'd probably, well, usual excuse, but I was considering going to Mallorca these days to hang out with him while he's playing the tournament, but I decided to stay in lovely, albeit slightly cold, Hamburg. Lefty John is asking, what do they do with chemists when they die? I don't know. I did watch the final episode of Breaking Bad, but I didn't really pay that much attention. So I'm reasonably, I don't want to spoil it. Nah, I don't know. What do they do with chemists when they die? Is that still a thing, like some 10-year-old show? No, I can't spoil it. I really wanted to binge watch Breaking Bad over the holidays. Speaking of binge watching over the holidays, doesn't Netflix normally put out some stuff for you American friends to binge watch now over your Thanksgiving? And if so, what is it? What should I watch? I'm behind on my TV intake. I haven't watched a whole lot. Oh, Lefty John had the punchline ready. Gotcha. Bury him. Beautiful. And Spills arrives here late, probably after a long working day. At least Spills says he just showed up in the chat. I'm guessing it's the Spills that pay the bills, so he could not watch the whole show today. Varo87, you're a piece down. There is no hope. There is just suffering. And Donji is saying, it's an old joke. Yeah, I figured. He probably didn't make it up on the spot. But it was a new joke to me. Most things are not, like, invented in the moment, but have been said by somebody before. Still, isn't that part of the fun of life? That you can be late to the party and discover something that has been discovered by many people before. Yet, it can still be magic to you. Like, I don't know. I recently got into the Beatles and I was telling people, Beatles, pretty good band, who knew? And they were telling me, pretty much everybody has known for the last 30 or however long they've been around, 40 years. But didn't spoil my enjoyment of it. One day you could figure out that the King's Gambit is a very exciting opening and you could start playing it and you could say, who knew King's Gambit was a very good and exciting opening? I would tell you, no one has ever said that or known that, because it's not true. But it could be your truth. Okay, that second part of my point didn't make a lot of sense. VB Cardinal saying, made it just in time to see Jan. We're just wrapping up, though. Are we? I'm not sure. I'm way overdue. I'm already 2 hours into bantering. But might as well, since we're here. You know what? I'll play some more games. Sounds like I'm doing everybody a big favor. Oh, thank you so much, Jan. You're gonna play some more chess games and talk nonsense? What a big sacrifice that you're making. Yeah, you're welcome. The body count is changing. Varo87, therefore he resigns. Thank you for the game. Let's play against Hipaz. Hipaz. VB Cardinal saying, yeah, but I got my Jan fix for the weekend. Glad to hear that. If there's a problem that I can't fix. I can't even finish that sentence. Then we can do it in the mix. Really does make a lot of sense. Abort, Hipaz. Excusez-moi. Our dear friend Laurent Fressinet always gets very angry at me when I start speaking French. Because, let's be honest, I'm not very good at it. And then people start praising me. Oh, non, tu peux parler très bien. No, they say, no, Jan, your French is excellent. And Laurent gets very upset. He rightly points out, your French is horrible. Stop speaking French on the shows. I can't watch it. Ah, pas de problème. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Où es-tu, Frami SC? Ah, tu as joué cheval? I don't know, knight. Cheval F 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16. See, I'm struggling with the letter 6. We're playing the Trompowsky bishop e7, not supposed to be the most critical of moves, but you can do anything, of course. H6, grabbing the two bishops is considered a more principled approach to this. So now, this knight, I maybe could have gone after it more directly, but this knight is in my sight. I want to trap it. If I go f3, I have to take queen h4 check into account though, which is most unfortunate. I still want to trap it though, so how can I do it? How can I get that knight of yours? Give me that knight. I must prepare it. But Frami SC won't let me have his knight, which is very upsetting. I would have liked to, you know, capture that knight. But now it has a square on f7, so I'm not going to be able to do it. Sad. F-E-D-E. I don't know. The knight, doing business, putting work in. This is what it feels like when you're putting work in. Knight g4, I might be in trouble. Real big trouble. Someone please call 911. Tell them. I was thinking about knight g4, knight f3, knight e3, queen d2, knight g2, king f2. But then I stopped thinking about it. Should I castle? Maybe it's time to castle. And Don G is confirming your Francais is pretty bad. I don't disagree. Blame my teachers. I remember you guys, my French teachers, Herr Hinz and Frau Dr. O. They were not happy to be teachers. Sometimes you could get the feeling with them that they weren't enjoying what they were doing. Can you imagine that? Someone like winging it, doing the same nonsense all over, like playing the same openings, using the same topics, not growing as a person, just taking beginners players pieces and then being all full of himself for being able to grab a little piece here and there. Must be very frustrating once you're stuck in that spot. Thanks for the game, Frami SC. I don't like this background. Can I add some other background? Let's have the good old wall again. Not sure if that's better. And ITTF tells me, I am become a premium member. Gotta honor that, ITTF. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed. Let's play a game of chess then. See, I'm easy. Go premium during the show. Tell me. I'll even ignore. That's a 3-minute challenge, not a 5-minute challenge. That's how I roll. 3 minutes, normally I complain about it, but then I accept them anyway. I prefer 5, because I feel that it gives us more room to talk about stuff. Italian, topic I am working on, and probably will work on for the next 8,000 years. Because these move orders are making me go slightly mad. I'm still planning to have it released at some point. Early next month for the all-important Crispiz, as I like to call it. I did manage to grab a pawn here, but ITTF played very fast, which must be worth something as well. I'm not sure if it's worth a whole pawn, but it's worth something. Maybe I should try to keep the pace. Let's blitz it out, IT. Might be too fast for me to do this. Might not be able to keep it up. ITTF probably thought, okay, I'm fine losing, but I'm not gonna get flagged by this guy. Which is a healthy approach to banter blitzing. Because if you make me beat you, we've already seen that I've sort of limited technical tools that I can use to beat you. And if you take my flagging game away, there's not that much left. Oh, I forgot to change the background here as well. This is some wizardry. Why do I have all this nonsense here? Boom! Okay, back to getting flagged by ITTF. Don't think too much, I might flag you. Stop the thinking. Stop the talking, baby. Rook endgame? Knight endgame? Who knows? Let's go rook endgame. Or I start walking, baby. I wish I was less terrible at chess, but in particular rook endgames. H4 was extremely stupid. Beautiful technique. Just beautiful. Still winning, but my technique has seen better days. I like to tell myself that. I'm not sure if it's true. It might have always been like this. Exciting. That's the premium experience for you, ITTF. I hope you liked it. I certainly did not enjoy my own technique. It's shameful. But thanks for the game. Do I have an echo? Ah, no, it's in the chat. Okay. Don't care. That's how I roll. If it's not me, don't care. Sad but true. Let's play Johann Wilhelm Möbius, because he's always here. Maybe not always, but I feel he's normally one of the first to get in his challenge. So, gotta crush him once in a while. He's a good player though, so it's not that easy. He's not that crushable. Is that a website? Crushable.com? Should be a website. Ugh, Marshall. Let's do it. Let's see how booked up the mobster is here. I'm reasonably booked up, but of course, I forget everything all the time. Did we already play Rookie 8 against Johan Wilhelm? I wish I could remember anything. Rookie 8 is the line I know best. I can't help myself. I always want to go here. But we might already have done this. I have a feeling he's been studying this line forever, ever. G3 is the best move here. H3 is also interesting. Having the added benefit that I forgot what to do against H3. C4 is the best move here. Bishop d5 was interesting. Having the added benefit that I forgot what to do against Bishop d5. Taking time, JV? We're just starting. Knight f6 is better. But I want to get him out of book. Oh, Bishop d1. Feels like a mistake. I don't know why, of course, but it does feel like a mistake. These lines are all very confusing. But black is quite active, so you have to be careful. Instead of bishop d1, d4 is best. Knight e6, queen e3, knight takes d4, queen d4, bishop c5, queen takes g7. Look it up. Or maybe it wasn't best, but it was possible. Rook b1, knight d4, or not. What does he want after knight d4? Queen e3. Okay, but then he must suffer. And I can't say I take enjoyment in people suffering, but I also can't say that I don't enjoy it. If you understand what I mean. Sorry. And we have a long question by Take It Easy on how to improve your chess. Go premium, take it easy. Use a tactics trainer, blah, blah, blah. In general, I don't mean to be rude by this, but it's genuine advice, all these non-premiums that are asking which books to buy or how to visualize or and so on. I do believe that it's excellent value to spend $10 on a monthly premium membership on Chess24. Not so much to play me and have me talk about nonsense. But, you know, use a tactics trainer, see if it helps you. Watch some video series. As usual, I keep playing the same one every show, but it's my favorite, the one with Artur Yusupov on prophylactic thinking. Really helped me. So, do that. In this endgame, I'm a bit better, which is nice. It's better than being a bit worse. Got my pawn back, and my pieces are a little more active. So let's see if I can squeeze something out of this. Svidler on the roof is saying, what a horrible person I am and what a horrible product all of this is. Then don't use it, Svidler on the roof, really. Don't whine. I'm trying to grab one of Johan Wilhelm's pawns, like this one. This is a pretty big pawn, because it's connected to this rook. think we can call it a day here, Johan Wilhelm. Ugh, I've been going for like 2.5 hours. It's time to go home. Let's play 2 more, then go home. Let's play Mr. Flaneur. I don't know much about this line. I play the 3f3, which is more normally directed against the Grunfeld. f3 d5, of course, is its own set of theory. That's very complicated. The problem is black can call your bluff, or maybe just want to play the kings in anyway and transpose to the Zamish, which is what we've got here. And I can't claim a lot of expertise in these Zamish positions. Hager says, I must have misread the post. Nah, I think I read it correctly. Let's see if I misread Flaneur's intentions here. Can I go c5? I'm sort of tempted to go c5. dc, d6. Lali0000 is asking, Jan, you recommend Austrian attack versus Pirz. Seems black playing Pirz in this case. Not sure I get the question. Austrian attack is a good opening, or a good line. Many top players, like Kayakin for example, seem to have it as their main weapon against Pirz. So, yeah, I think it's a decent line. There's many good choices against the Pirz. Really depends on your tendencies. Recently I've seen a lot of people play this, or I've mainly seen Akai Nigel play, but he always gets a good position. This bishop e3 followed by h3 system, which seems quite promising. So yeah, there's lots of systems against the Pirz. I don't really have a go-to system because I don't get it very often. But Austrian attack certainly seems like a very sound opening. Not sure if I should go to e3 or be humble and go here. Maybe I'll be humble because f5 is coming. Then I don't want to have to deal with spending another tempo on defending against f4. Alright, so what time is it in the US? I understand it depends on your time zone. That seems like it's still a long way till you get that turkey, right? What do people normally, how do you spend the day? It's like the big turkey dinner is, I'm gonna assume like 5 p.m. or something. So what do you do all day? You watch sports? Is there like NFL, do they play on Thanksgiving? I know there's no basketball. Or do you, I don't know, do you argue about politics with your uncle? That's the cliche, right? I'm not sure what we have, what's comparable. Probably Christmas Eve, right? And again, you guys have that too. The 24th. We have Easter, even though I normally don't make it. But I'm just thinking of the scheduled family get-togethers that are common over here. Flaneur playing well. Lefty John, go keep your wife company. I understand this is a riveting show. That family matters more. I actually mean that. Not the riveting show part, obviously. But it's gonna be on YouTube. You can watch it there, but you only have Thanksgiving once a year. Or twice? I don't know how stuff works. Don't checkmate me, Flaneur. I'm not in such a giving mood just yet. G4, see, I always underestimate these checkmates out of the blue in the King's Indian. And now after G4, I'm already very scared. I felt like I was cruising, but after G4, my mood changed. I was gonna say 180 degrees, but that's a weird reference, I feel like. Then again, what else can you say? I'm scared now. I'm very scared of Flaneur. But I tricked him before he was going to checkmate me. Sorry, Flaneur. You actually played a good game. And yeah, I was genuinely worried here about my position. Even if you just take a timeout to play King H8. Normally, I abandoned my king, and the black attack tends to be very fast in such positions. And Lefty John is leaving us to spend time with his wife, as he should. Bye, Lefty John. See you around next time. All right, last game for the day. Let's play one of you Americans that I haven't played before. If I can find such an opponent. If not, I will play a non-American or an American I've played before. I believe those are the logical options. Nope, no fresh American challenges. So instead, I shall play Norman Trapp from Austria. Let's play 1e4. Or I should say 1-1e4. Lally007 says, Jan slept so much it still seems he ain't tired. Au contraire, I started being tired. But then you know how it is with sleep deprivation, even though I don't have that. But with tiredness, at some point you feel like you've passed the dead spot and you might as well keep going. Even though, yeah, I genuinely dislike today's episode. Even though, yeah, I guess I often have that feeling, but I feel like I'm not funny, I'm not playing well, I'm not sitting up straight. Pretty much the usual problems, but sometimes you feel like you've done a good show. Like the last one I felt was good. This one I feel like has been really bad. So I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry about Norman Trapp not being here. That means I have to find someone else for our last game. Let's play Louisa Thomas. This move order, I'm a fan of not putting this knight on c3. It's another topic we've already talked about, but that's hard to avoid with the limited scope of openings that I'm playing. And put this knight here, because it's much easier to get this knight into the game after both e6, e5, it has a nice square on c4, and after Benko-esque lines with b5, it often has a nice square on a3 after a4, knight a3. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to spend a tempo here on a4, or if I can just go bishop e2 and then take on b5 anyway. But it feels sensible to spend a move on a4. Now my development should be pretty simple. I put the bishop on e2. After takes, I recapture with this pawn. And then, as I said, I have a built-in square for this knight on c4. Well, imagine that the other knight on e2 was somewhere. It's much clumsier, much harder to get it into play. Chapa Capacha is saying, don't be daft, all shows are gold, Jerry Gold. Thanks, I appreciate it. But no, I have a feeling for which shows I like better and which one I disliked. And today, didn't feel sharp. Then again, I understand it's a lot of self-conscious whining, which to some extent is part of these shows, but I shouldn't overdo it. I apologize. Which, once again, is part of what I just said I shouldn't do. Knight b6, asking me to play a5 with tempo. I guess I should accept that kind invitation. Still want to go knight d2, knight c4, but since I was just handed some tempi, I could use them to develop this stuff first. By this stuff, I mean the bishop. Smeshak is saying, you know we have standards here, Jan. Nah, I know you don't. That's why you guys keep coming back, and I do appreciate that. But believe it or not, I try to, keep the show entertaining, and often I fail, and then I'm unhappy. Not that unhappy, but slightly unhappy. Knight e8. I can grab material by playing bishop e7. The train of thought ends right there. Like someone responsible might have weighed his other options. Bishop b5, knight c4, positional, blah, blah, blah. But I'm more like Homer Simpson with the football. Must have rook. Did I say last game? I guess I said last game, right? What time is it? Ugh. My train just left. I'll take the train home. Since I live very far in the suburbs, my train only goes every half hour. So now I might as well play 2 more games. Or maybe, 2 more we can do. What about Abizia? Not an abysmal username, but I am planning to abuse, yeah. On the chessboard, of course. Maybe we can cheat and like cut this video into 2 parts, then upload it as 2 Banter Blitzes. You know, like serious people do, where you record stuff in advance, and then you release it when you're gone. Like next week I'm gone. But serious people would pre-record something. But that's not how we roll. Whenever we have something, let's get rid of it. And I'm aware we don't have that much recently. And I'm trying to get more stuff out there. Nimzu Blitz is asking, how does one play with Jan? Every time I try, it just goes to play like normal. And challenge me. Then wait patiently, or impatiently, if I accept your challenge. You know what, since you're asking, challenge me right now. I'll play you next game. We'll go home. Boom. Spills is asking, what's the over-under on Lawrence becoming a GM? I don't know. He does have the skill level. So normally he does not make it because he gets too deep into his own head, and then he has a low tolerance for setbacks, which I understand. But he's let's not overdo it. He's a strong player. He should be a grandmaster. So I feel like he's gonna make it eventually, because clearly, even though he might retire a couple times along the way, he's not gonna walk away from the game because he loves being around it. So I don't talk over under, but I'd say he's like an 80% favorite to become a grandmaster in his lifetime. C4, where do I go? All the way back? Looks a bit odd, but I don't want to deal with the headache of bishop c2 knight b4. Carnering is back again. Do you have like a typical Thanksgiving breakfast? Is that a tradition? Bishop b4. Let's get out the way. Attack! Give me that. I just think queen c2 is a nice move to make. I have zero cruel intentions. And I have no malicious thoughts regarding you or your king, Mr. or Mrs. Abizia. I come in peace. All I want is to take your pieces. Nimzo Blitz is trying to figure out how to challenge me. Hover over my name, which is Jan. You can see it under the video if you're watching on chess24.com. Click on challenge. Boom, there you go. Spills is saying, no breakfast, huge dinner, lots of drinking, major regrets. Sounds like a good day. Abizia, I'm sure we'll have some regrets about castles by now. Not sure if major regrets. I am up major material. So before we start the next wave, thought I should, I don't know, activate this rook just in case. No. Finish the job, h4, h5. Should do some fairly permanent damage in the black structure. It does sound like lots and lots of drinking is the common denominator between everybody's Thanksgiving experiences. So you get wasted during the day, and then you start the dinner when everybody's drunk? Doesn't that maybe lead to family conflict and harsh words being said and feelings being hurt, and then people go their separate ways, and it takes all year until you meet each other again? But then the problem is, once again, you're doing all this day drinking, So you never really get to talk your differences out during the next Thanksgiving. I'm just, making stuff up here. Knight g7 is a move I don't often play because, the knight looks better on f6. But sometimes people do it. That's all I have to say about it. Sometimes people do this. d3 looks a bit passive. I'll bite and occupy the center. Don G says we drink because we're with our family. Then again, every family is dysfunctional in its own way. Still, the only family you have. So, learn to appreciate them. I'm sure they said that in some wise movie. Karl Nering is saying pure health food. Spill says get invited to dinner and find out everyone else is vegan. No turkey for you, Spills, huh? I'm still contemplating doing the vegan thing. Like Kyrie Irving, he went vegan after he watched a Netflix documentary. Even though I believe he watched this What the Health Netflix documentary. That's the one that stopped me from going vegan again. Cowspiracy almost made me go vegan. What the Health, same director. Big turnoff. Because it felt like pseudoscience, just scare tactics. Didn't like that one. Cowspiracy, I liked it a lot. Smeshak is saying, I usually drink during the holidays, but not if there is a child present. Then I just give it to him, the drink. But you're Norwegian, Smeshak. It's a big part of your culture to drink. There's a lot of peer pressure in Norway. If you don't drink, people will look at you strange. What's going on with you, Smeshak? Why are you not drinking? So that's different. As for the Americans, I'm not sure. I guess it depends. Hans Gerhard probably has a more correct quote. All happy families are alike, but each dysfunctional family is dysfunctional in its own way. Let's Google that. Who said that? Sounds smart. Tolstoy, good old Leo. I never made it through those books. War and Peace, Anna Karenina. And Nimzoblitz is saying, if the idiotic question asking if I was sure I wanted to resign hadn't appeared, I would have resigned. You should get that fixed. You don't like the confirmation thing? So easy to misclick. Imagine you accidentally click the resign button when what you really want to do is offer a draw. So this is not a bug. It's a complaint I haven't heard often. But thanks for the feedback, Mr. Nimzoblitz. I'll pass it on. Nimzoblitz, not a fan of the confirmation. It's a pity. Now he's going to crush me just because our resign button did ask him if he really wanted to resign. It's upsetting. It's bad news for me. Actually, after bishop b3, I really have to start taking some care. Oh boy. This did not go according to plan. I lost focus. This is my usual excuse for anything. Whenever I blunder stuff, oh, but I lost focus. I was so focused earlier. Now bishop f7, all of a sudden I'm in trouble. Bishop e5 is a worse move, alright. You should have started with bishop f7. Then there was play. Now, okay, it's not easy to convert this, but I'm back in the driver's seat. Back in the New York beat. Did I just allow a perpetual? That would be a fitting finale. Boy, I really can't think anymore. See? The resign button got you a draw. Should be your best friend from now on, Nimzo Blitz. Rook d2 was sort of sad. See, I'll use the draw button. Good game, Nimzo Blitz. There you go. Happy end. Wanted to resign. The button asking for confirmation stopped him. And I blundered a perpetual. Also not the most uncommon perpetual in the world. Rook f8, rook f7. Then again, earlier after I had started messing up. And here, if you go bishop f7, I might be in some trouble. I don't know. Too complicated, but yeah, things hadn't gone well. All right, 1842. Last game. Quick one. Let's play Lord of Swords. 3-minute challenge. Normally I'd complain at this point, but since I said quick one, this actually fits right into my agenda. Gotta be there though. Lord of Swords. Looks like he's out of sorts. Abortovich, no time to wait. If we can't play Lord of Swords, let's fight sword. Carnering saying, my excuse for not being a GM is my inexcusable lack of chess skill. My problem is I am a GM, so I don't have these excuses, and I can only refer to old age and back in the days and lack of practice, sellout, not really playing open chess tournaments anymore where you're competing with 20 other GMs for the first prize of €2,000 and it only costs you like 10 days. You do the math. Alright, fight sword. I like my chances in this one because I outrate fight sword by like 10,000 rating points. That is the reason for my optimism and the source of my self-confidence. Just be way stronger than your opponent and you might win. Pre-move. See, I know my sword. Dale Ellenson is saying, studying chess openings using Tactics Trainer and watching videos is all cheating, right? I do agree with that notion. The one thing that should be allowed is watching Banter Blitzes and take everything I say at face value as gospel. Then build your chess game around it. And fail you cannot. And that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Go premium or don't, following the instructions here. 15% off with the bonus code Yanistan. See you around in the next show. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your turkey. Or what do vegans eat? If I decide to go vegan, what would I get at your Thanksgiving? That's something we're going to have to figure out. But I'm sure we will eventually. I'll go home. Thanks for watching. See you next time.